This tutorial covers how to catch an increasingly more common species of UK and European waters, the grey triggerfish. We'll start by telling you where they can be found. We'll then cover best conditions, as well as best casting practice, preferred tackle, as well as what is best suitable bait-wise. So where can we find triggerfish? Grey triggerfish have gradually worked their way northward as seas have warmed. Around the UK they are found throughout the whole English Channel from Cornwall to Kent. Originally as southern UK fish, they are increasingly being found in small numbers as far north as Scotland. It's the western half of the Isles that they are most prominent. On the continent they are found reliably as far north as Holland, reaching all the way down to the Portuguese coast, as well as the Mediterranean. So what are we looking for? Conditions-wise, triggerfish are a summer species of the UK. They are usually found between the months of early July to early October, in the English Channel. Going further north reduces the seasonal window, with the coasts of Southern Ireland and Wales having a typical season of late July to September. Their peak period is typically anywhere between late July and August. Triggerfish do not like tidal flow that is too fast. For this reason, it can often be the middle-sized tides that can be a safer bet. Fast current venues themselves may not be as suitable, though if you fish these venues, the periods of slack water around low and high may be the key times that bites pick up. They will feed during the flood tide phase on most typical rocky or mixed venues that are shallow. For deeper marks such as piers or cliffs, they will actually feed within any phase of the tide cycle, including the ebb. As with many summer species, triggerfish will require periods of settled weather that often come with summer. Overcast skies will be preferable as this will draw them inshore more confidently. Having said that, they will fish during clear sunny skies, but will typically be in slightly deeper water. As with bream and other summer species, triggerfish also respond well to ground bait. So let's now look at where to cast. They are a true fish of rocky ground, so rockmark venues are the way to go. Any areas of reef will be hot spots to cast to, as these will be prime food areas for their prey as well as shelter spots. Areas of weed bed will also be effective features for much the same reasons. Around piers and such, any structure in the water will provide features, as well as spots where inshore wrecks have occurred. On rockledge venues, casting baits into the deep water channels that wear in between the face of the cliffs can position baits where triggerfish may be patrolling. The question now is, which are our go-to rigs? For deep water venues, it's very common to use a float rig setup, using a heavy style spinning rod and a drop net to ensure you don't lose catches. A float rig will be great for avoiding snags on rough ground. We have opted to show you a ledge rig, as this can be used for both shallow and deep venues. We have specifically chosen a single hook rig as this will be less snaggy within the rough ground. If fishing deep water, the bait clip is not necessary and should be avoided to make tackle losses less expensive. Using a rotten bottom by tying your lead to the lead clip using weak line of no more than 15-pound breaking strain is a good choice to ensure you keep tackle losses to a minimum and don't lose fish. If fishing shallower venues, a bait clip will help you get your baits further out near any features. A rotten bottom setup can also be used to attach your lead when casting on shallow venues, but it is important that you use a suitable breakaway style lead link to avoid the lead cracking off mid-cast, as this can be dangerous or simply waste tackle. Here's an example of this type of clip. Gemini are probably the most well-known brand of this clip type, but there would be other brands available if you look around. You can use a lighter bass style setup for shorter casting distances, though we suggest using a standard beach caster setup using 20-pound mono mainline. You also have the option of using braid mainline, which would allow you to scale up your breaking strain to 30-pound if preferred. We suggest a rig body of mono line at 60-pound minimum breaking strain. For the snood, as triggerfish are visual predators, we suggest using fluorocarbon to present baits a little more stealthily. This should still be relatively short of around 15 inches to prevent snags. The hook should be strong pattern to deal with the crushing teeth. Ideal size being between size 1 and size 2. The hook pattern should also ideally have a long shank to aid in unhooking. If you are confused about any of the tackle aspects we have mentioned here, keep an eye out on our channel page, as we will soon be releasing a playlist series that covers aspects of tackle, with each video explaining one individual aspect at a time. Now for some top baits for triggerfish. Using small fish strips such as mackerel can be a good choice that looks natural and adds good scent in the water. Peeler crab as ever is another brilliant attractor bait when it comes to scent. One of the natural prey of the triggerfish are shellfish such as limpets. They pull them from the surfaces of rocks and other structures. So using a shellfish bait such as razor clam is a good possible option. Triggerfish will also take different worm baits. Don't forget, as mentioned earlier, as with other summer species, triggerfish can respond very well to ground bait. Hi guys, just a quick reminder, if you like my videos and find that you are learning some useful tips, please do remember to click the subscribe button just under this video. Subscribing is completely free. There's no sign-up process as it's all done at the click of a button. Also do remember to hit the like button if you find a specific video interesting and helpful. Doing these things really does help support the channel and allows me to keep making more and more helpful videos that will hopefully make your sessions that much more enjoyable. Thanks so much guys. If you'd like to know how to make and use ground bait for your next trip, we've provided a link here to another video that explains everything you need to know. Don't forget to check our channel page for any new tackle related videos we upload. Why not make it easier and hit the bell icon to stay notified? Thanks for watching another video from Lighthouse Sea Fishing Tutorials. Until next time.